The Girls Club, 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 The Girls Club. It's my club and I'm a girl, yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Girls Club. I'm your president, Emily, and life update, I don't have a job anymore. Hey, I'm unemployed. Oh, I'm unemployed. Oh, I'm unemployed. Whoa, I'm unemployed. Hold up, I'm unemployed. Throw it back, I'm unemployed. Twerk it out, I'm unemployed. Yeah. It's kind of like I'm on a boat by Lonely Island, except it's I'm unemployed. Hashtag worst job market in history. Hashtag recession. Hashtag what's going on. Welcome back, you guys. Hope everybody had a lovely, lovely week. I, for one, had a weird week. Very weird. Last club meeting, I talked about, I was kind of like ambiguous of like, girl, what's going on in your life? Like, you're kind of like telling us, but not telling us. Like, we're confused, we're concerned, like whatever. We as in nobody was really thinking that. But if you were, just know that's what's been going on. What's going on? Yeah, last Tuesday I got laid off and it was so fucking cool. And by cool, I mean shocking, unexpected, stressful, scary, spooky, something. You know that one TikTok audio? Yeah, so last week I got laid off. Also, my parents were in a different country and I didn't want to like ruin their vibe. Hashtag middle child, hashtag Libra. I didn't want to like ruin somebody else's vibe. So I was like, I'm just not going to tell them until they get back in and settle back into the Americas. And yeah, then they got, because like they had FaceTime me the night before I got laid off. We're like, look, we just made it. We're so happy. We're so excited, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And the next day I got laid off and I was like, ooh, that might throw a damper on their fun little trip. So I withheld that information respectfully and did not tell them until they got back. And it's all good. I'm good, fuck you, we ball. But in all honesty, it is very strange, I'll just jump straight into what we're going to talk about today. And what we're going to talk about today in this lovely, lovely club meeting, which if you're new here, thank you. Hello. Hi. I posted some YouTube shorts and I gained some subs. So hashtag I'm going to be doing that from now on. I've always posted like here and there on shorts, but to be honest, sometimes the comments are mean as shit. So I was like, I'm not posting on YouTube shorts no more. Yes, I am, because hello, hi, how are you, Jeffree Star style.
That part.
A lot of you have found me through YouTube shorts. So if you're new here, hi. How y'all doing? And welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Emily. This is a podcast. I don't ever say it's a podcast on here because I try to keep it like club vibes. This is a podcast I host and I talk for an hour plus about nothing. So if that's something you're into, boy, did you luck out with this one. Also, that being said, now that I'm fun-employed, let's derpify unemployment. Fun-employed! Hashtag fun-employed. I'm going to have some more time to work on videos. So what's really exciting about that for me is creative freedom to not work, 50 plus hours every week on top of wanting to do this, and truly not having enough hours and motivation and energy to get it done. Girl, I got nothing but time. Like I was saying earlier, like let's get into the topic. I want to talk about the freedom that comes with getting laid off. This is shit that I feel like I have cracked the code on never before talked about content. So you guys better stick the fuck around because I'm about to drop some fucking bombs of knowledge on your asses. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what this is. That's not what this has ever been. This has always just been girl talk, yap city, whatever. But I feel like there is a untapped market when it comes to being truthful and honest about what this is, this equaling unemployment, and what it's like navigating that. To my future employers, hey girl, aren't you so happy I work for you? Isn't this awesome? I'm manifesting right now. Isn't this awesome? Like I'm such a good asset to the team. I do good work. Hire me. Or manifestation of the century. I'm like, or maybe I just do this shit full time. My parents' worst nightmare. My dad has been begging me for years to stop posting shit on the internet. Sorry. I gotta be the black sheep of the family. I gotta be the one that that does things a little off the beaten path, that doesn't do the traditional route. I gotta make shit harder for me. Yeah, anyways, so I'm joking, I'm being funny, haha. But it also is like one of those things that like I've never done this before. It's my first time living too. So I don't know. So many people have been in this position. So many people have been laid off for whatever reason, because of, you know, the laws of this country. You can kind of just get laid off for any reason at all. I was not fired. Meaning I didn't lose my job because of my performance. I lost my job because my company eliminated my role entirely. They were just like, we don't need to do this anymore. Which, you know, that's cool. Like that's the thing about all of this. It's like it's out of your control. A lot of people who I've been talking to about this, which at this point, I'm kind of tired of having this conversation. And it's nobody's fault, but it's just like everybody wants to know all the details and wants to know everything. I don't even know everything. I don't really know the why. I'm assuming it's for financial reasons. I'm assuming that there was something where they just had to make a decision to let people go because a lot of people at my company got let go. So it's like, it's nothing personal. It's whatever. Like, I can't do anything about it. So, but I understand people wanting to know the details of like, how did this happen? Aren't you shocked? Like, what are you going to do? Are you freaking out? And to answer that truthfully, I'm not. And that sounds crazy to be like, aren't you scared? Aren't you this? Aren't you that? It's like, first, I am in an extremely fortunate and privileged position because I am in a place with the relationship that I have with my family, because my family's fucking awesome and they love me and they support me and whatever, that, you know, when I called my parents to talk to them about this, and I'm just kind of like with the way that the job market is and everything, I'm like, I just honestly, I don't know how quick I'll be able to like get back into employment. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those things where it's so hard right now. Like, I don't know. This is based off of no actual data. This is just me like talking out of my ass. But I feel like right now it's probably like a 4 to 6 month, you know, timeline to finding a job through like the, you know, application process, the interview process, the onboarding, like whatever. So it's not a quick little thing. My family has been very supportive throughout all this because like everybody's been through this. That's kind of like back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, it's not something unique to happen to me. It's not the first time it's probably going to happen to me. Unfortunately, it's probably, or it is the first time, but it's not the last time is what I meant to say there. I was trying to drop some like cool, like if it ain't the first, it's, or if it's the first, it's not the last. Like I was trying to sound like cool. It didn't deliver. But my lease in Nashville, I live in Nashville. Dox yourself. I live in Nashville and my lease ends at the end of May. And I just called my parents and I'm like, I just don't, this isn't my city. Like I've known that for a while now. And I've known that I've wanted to leave. I mean, I think I made a club meeting a year ago talking about being like, when's it time to move on? When's it time to like move and do other things? I still didn't. So honestly, like this is kind of one of those things that I feel like is forcing me to do that. quite literally because I can't afford the rent here. But also like this is a place that like I think I did as much as I could do here. You know what I mean? It's like there are certain stages in your life where you will feel like it's ready to move on, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a career, whether that's a physical space that you're in, whether that's like, I don't know, how you dress, how you act, whatever. You'll hit a point where you know in your gut this is not right. It's time to move on. But sometimes it's hard to do that because shit is just routine and comfortable, and like it might not be good, but it's not horrible. But things like this, outside factors that kind of force your hand, can sometimes feel like so negative and out of your control and whatever. But for me, it's what I needed. It's forcing my hand. It's forcing me to do something that I've known that I've wanted to do for a while, which is move. It's also forcing me to do something enter into a different industry than I was in previously, which like I loved my job and I loved what I did, but there was a ceiling where I was at. Like I couldn't go any higher, and I'm trying to girl boss my way all the way to the fucking sun. Yes. So like I genuinely couldn't go any higher there, and so like it was this kind of like limbo I was stuck in. And as shitty as it is, it's like I lost my job. I'm losing my insurance. I'm losing my income. I'm not going to be able to afford my rent. Like it's all of this shit. It's all horrible, scary, spooky. What is the words to that? Scary, spooky, something spooky, ginormous, spooky, scary, something, I don't know. So as much as it is all of that, it's also incredibly freeing. Like, oh my God, I have felt like the past couple of days. Last week, it was a different story. Last week, I was in fight or flight mode of like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm like looking at my bank account and it's like, girl, it's not giving zeros. It's giving zero. Like, it's not giving like, oh, okay, I got like 4 or 5 months rent, like on top of whatever. That's laughable. Like at this point, that's laughable. I was getting so fucking underpaid. I was getting, you know, and I have been since the beginning of my career, I've been underpaid. But I've accepted it because I was like, I'm at a small company. I believe in this. I blah, blah, blah. I want to do whatever. And it's like, should I have left earlier? Yeah, I should have. Like in all honesty, I should have, but I didn't because of comfortability, because of laziness, because of whatever you want to call it. It was just fine. And this has forced me to move on. So like last week I was stressed out. I was freaking out. I'm like, what am I going to do? I got to find another job. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do blah, blah, blah. I was freaking out. I was calling my brothers because my parents were in a fucking different country and I couldn't talk to them. And I didn't want to be a burden on them because that's my biggest fear in life, is like being a burden to my family, even though they created me. And you know what I mean? It's like I didn't have a choice to be born into this world. So it's like the least that they can do is hear me out and whatever. So it's like I don't know why I was stressed out, because my family is the most supportive and is the most like compassionate and just like nurturing and set you up for success and whatever. So like I don't know why, but it's like I don't know. In my mind, it was like I didn't want to disappoint them, even though it's nothing that I could have controlled. So I was in that mode last week, which is why I felt like so stressed out and whatever and in all of this. This week, after telling them, first of all, that was the biggest weight off my shoulders of all time. I don't know why I had more anxiety about that than like going back to my job after I got laid off and doing the, hey, how's it going? And like dropping my like fucking equipment off and being like, peace out, fuckers. Like, I'm out, I guess. See ya. Deuces, and like drop the mic, walk out. I did pull up in a cunt ass outfit though to do it. Unfortunately, nobody who mattered was there to see it. So I was like, damn it. I did all this for nothing. I was trying to be dramatic and be like, you guys lost a baddie. Nobody cared. But after I called my parents, did all that, the anxiety was like off of my shoulders. And my dad told me just like amazing advice. And he was like, everybody who has worked in the like quote business industry has gone through something like this. And if they haven't, then they're the 1% of people who just have, you know, gotten lucky and not gone through it. But he's like, we all have gone through it, whether that's leaving a company because there's no room for you to grow anymore and having to just quit, or whether it's getting laid off, or whether it's, you know, quitting for your mental health and pivoting and whatever. He's like, this won't be the first time, or this won't be the last time. God, I keep fucking that up, y'all. I keep fucking that up. This won't be the last time you go through this. So what's important right now is to say goodbye, say thank you, you know, leave like admirably, and leave with a sense of like accomplishment and feeling of confidence, because this has nothing to do with you or your work or whatever. And I have that in writing, so don't worry. And also relax. Everything else that happens after this will happen. Like the job hunting, the applications, the interviews, the bullshit, the mind games of all of that, that is inevitable. But right now, take a moment and just relax and breathe and get your head right. That way you're ready for all of that. And that way you're not setting yourself up to be completely overwhelmed and you shut down in the process. And it's a very difficult thing to do, I will admit, because your mind is going to go to panic mode first because of the society that we live in. You have to have money to live. And as unfortunate as that is, it costs a lot to live. And so money is always a stressor. That's why, you know, it controls us so much. But at the same time, it's like I was fortunate enough to work at a company where, although I didn't make a lot of money, I also had a 401k for 5 years that I was contributing to. So it's like I don't have this money in my savings account that I can see, but then it's like I look over there and I'm like, okay, worst comes to worst, I have to take some of that out. You know, people are like, oh, don't take it out. You pay taxes, you whatever. It's there because of reasons like this, you know? It's there because of whatever. I'm also fortunate enough to have parents who were like, come move back in with us. You know, after your lease ends there, you can come back home, you know, and regroup here and figure out your next moves and whatever. And so, I don't know. I'm definitely in a very privileged, fortunate situation. As shitty as this whole thing is, it's like I'm not feeling overwhelmed because I have a solid support system behind me, and I have like people who have confidence in me to succeed at whatever the next thing that I do is, which I know is like not the norm, which is shitty. It should be the norm, but it's not, because, you know, everybody's situation is different. Everybody's relationships with their family is different and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I just, same thing going back to this like 2026, you know, I don't do resolutions, but I do fart joke, poop joke. Ah! I'm sure my neighbors love that. Let me check to make sure this is recording. I'm recording on my iPhone, by the way, because the camera that I used to shoot on for 5 years was actually one of my work's cameras that they didn't use anymore, and I borrowed it, and I had to return that. So now I don't have a monitor, which is probably nice for you guys because I'm not like looking all over the place, but at the same time, I don't know if this is recording, so that would really fucking suck. Don't worry, we are recording. But yeah, that's kind of the update on all of that. I don't know. I should be panicking and freaking out and whatever, but like, girl, I just did 5 years of nonstop working, and I finally have this like time that I've been so desperately searching for and trying to make room for and whatever to devote to something I'm truly passionate about, which is making videos and creating stuff. And I'm choosing to look on the positive side. Back to what I was saying with my like goal for this year is to just like, it's too negative. Everything is too negative. Everything is too depressing. Everything is too sad. Everything is too horrible. And it's just fucking terrible. So I can't be terrible. I can't be sad all the time. I can't be horrible. I can't be down. I can't be whatever, because I will just simply wither away if that's how I approach life. Because I'm in such a privileged, fortunate position with my family, with my friends, with everything that I have, that like money is irrelevant and whatever. And like, yes, you need money to live. Yes, you need whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. But like, I don't know. Back in October when I had my birthday, I had a tarot card reader at my birthday. Okay. If you're new here, I do not believe in God or like a higher power or whatever. Okay. So me talking about tarot cards and whatever seems very like hypocritical. And to that I say, I also don't really believe in that. But I find it interesting and entertaining. And I find people and people's ability to feel connected to the cosmos or universe or God or whatever you want to call it, I find that very interesting. So for my birthday this year, I hired a tarot card reader that I found on like some random website. Her name was the Scarlet Mystic, and she's fucking phenomenal. She's a queen. It was just really a fun experience, and I've recommended her to so many people. So if you're in Nashville looking for a tarot card reader, look up the Scarlet Mystic on Gig Salad. That's where I found her. She's awesome. So yeah, I hired her because I thought, this is a fun thing, and I have a lot of like people in my life who do really like hold respect for that and believe in it and whatever. And it's not that I completely don't believe in that, because I think a lot of that has to deal with rules of science, in the fact that like, everything that comes up must come down, and like the laws of nature and the laws of, astronomy and like the way that things work and whatever. So I think that there is a lot of like, not truth is maybe the wrong word, but I feel like there's a lot to be learned from things like astrology and tarot and whatever, like all the witchy stuff. Because a lot of it is based off of like external forces and their like impact on you and your life. So I don't know. I definitely believe in like the theory of like karma, and do I believe that there are innately lucky people in life and there are innately like unlucky people? Yeah, because I feel like it's all about the situation that you were like born into. Not that you can't come out of those situations, but what I'm saying is a lot of people are going to inherently seem more lucky than others because they've had a lot of help and resources, and like there's so many contributing factors that have like escalated their success and power and credibility and whatever, where it's like somebody who has nothing and was born into a very like difficult situation and an environment that doesn't foster like creativity or passion or whatever, and is very negative and whatever, is probably going to view the world as that, and probably it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to see the success and to see the like fruits of their labor and whatever, because they don't have the support system helping them get there. So like that's kind of what I mean by all this. I think a lot of it, it's like, not that it's real or not real or whatever, but I do think a lot of it you can learn a lot from, because it's very applicable to you and your situation, if that makes sense. It's kind of like fortune cookies, where it's like if you're having a bad day and you have a bad fortune cookie, you're going to be like, of course, like I'm everything sucks and whatever. Or if you're like, oh, you found a quarter on the sidewalk and then your fortune's like, oh, you will find wealth, you're like, oh my gosh, yes, how'd they know? It's kind of like that. So all that being said, I got my tarot read in October, and it was very much like you're on the edge of something, and you are, in a position where you have to make a decision, or the decision is going to be kind of made for you, because you're in a place where you need to like really lean on the people around you for support, and like reach out to friends and family and whatever, and they will help like reassure you that you're ready to like make this leap onto this next thing, because you're having a very hard time like doing that yourself. So there might be like an outside force that forces your hand to do so. Case in point, me getting laid off. Okay. And then she said something really interesting. She was like, do you work in like a creative field or something where you like come up with ideas? And I was like, yes, like I work in marketing, and, I do videos and whatever at my job, but I also do like personally, like YouTube and social content and whatever. And that's what I'm really passionate about. And she was like, well, I guess one of the cards, see, I'm like very ignorant when it comes to tarot. So like, I can't even tell you what the cards I got, because I forgot to write them down. All of my friends like wrote all their cards down. I was like, damn it, I should have done that. But she was like, one of the things was like, don't give out your best ideas to other people. Like, keep them to yourself, because this decision that you're going to have to make, or that's going to be made for you, it's really important that you keep this to yourself and keep it for you, because that's what's going to propel you into the next stage of this chapter in your life. And people will take and take and take from you, and you're not going to get it in return if you just give all of your good ideas away and stuff. And I'm like, girl, she's eating. She's eating. What the fuck? What the freak? Oh my God, this is crazy. I'm like, one-way ticket to YouTube fame, please. But anyway, so I get that, and I'm kind of like, this whole time since then, like little things here and there keep happening, and I'm like, she clocked it. And then I'm like, or is it just, could it probably has, like, anything she told me, I could have probably been like, oh my God, yeah, that's happening in my life. But it is interesting that it's so on the nose, but maybe it's because I'm fitting it to the narrative that I'm experiencing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is I got that back in October. I've been having this weird gut feeling since around December that this was coming. I kind of felt like, I don't know, there was just certain things, if you've gone through this, where it's like you kind of notice some stuff happening around the office or whatever, talk is going on. You're like, it's kind of weird. I'm kind of feeling like unstable. I approached, my boss with this feeling in December, and she's like, I don't know, like, we'll see. And then last week I got the news, and I was, shocked, but also not. So I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say with all this is like 90% of life is just out of your control. And not in a cynical way of being like, we're just on a floating rock in the middle of the galaxy and nothing matters, whatever. But what I'm saying is like, you cannot let shit that you really had no control over control you and your mental state and your, thoughts about yourself and whatever, because it's like, not that fate is a thing or everything's predestined and whatever, but like shit is just gonna happen sometimes, and there's really nothing you can do about it. But after it happens, you can do one of two things. You can let it control you and let it destroy the momentum that you had, the path that you saw for yourself, the whatever. You can fester and you can let it eat you up and you can remain in the past, or you can take it, accept what's happened, and attempt to move forward. And maybe that is going to require you to change your plan. Maybe it's going to require you to think bigger, or to, maybe reel it in a bit and figure out what really matters to you right now. And that's what I'm doing. I am in this time, while being unemployed, on top of looking for other jobs and whatever, I'm also making sure to just acknowledge the shit that's important in my life, and also commit to the thing that I've been chasing for like 4 years now, which is my passion projects that I do on the fucking internet. As stupid as that sounds, it's like, it's just what I love to do, and I'm really trying to lean into it. I'm also trying to really like lead into my friendships right now, because now I know that I'm moving, and so I want to make sure that, like, I don't know, before I leave, I want to make sure that I've done everything that I can do to just make sure the people in my life who I see frequently know how important they are to me, and know how much I've appreciated them over these last 5 years, and building these friendships. And it's not a goodbye, but it's a see you later kind of situation and whatever. So yeah, that's just my life update. Crazy kooky stuff going on over here. And I don't know, like, again, I know this is incredibly privileged and not the usual way that this goes down, because of the situation that I'm in with my family support and my access to 401k if I need it, and all of these things. But I don't know, I felt like it was important to talk about. Maybe not even for y'all, like maybe this you don't even care and whatever, but for me, like, this is important as like a diary of my life, which is kind of what this has become, and what all of my like online stuff is. It's like a diary and like a documentation of like my evolution throughout the years, and not in like a narcissistic way, but in a way that's like, that's just kind of the modern way things are. And I'm sure that you guys treat social media very similarly, where it's like you can go look back on stuff that you posted and you can cringe, and you can be like, oh God, why would I wear that? Or why would I do my makeup that way? Or why, oh my God, I can't believe like I thought that was funny, or whatever. Like, oh, this is just cringe. I'm the same, and so it's like, it's going to be nice in like 5 years from now, looking at this and appreciating the devotion that I'm giving to something that I'm passionate about. Because if it does bloom into something, then, it's validation that like hard work and dedication can pay off. And if it doesn't work out, then I can confidently say like, I gave it my all, and whatever. So I don't know. I haven't had like a deep, meaningful conversation in this club for a while, because, I've kind of needed to just dissociate on here and just be silly goofy. But this has been a very refreshing and needed approach, or needed conversation to have with myself and with all of you. I hope you got something from this, and if you didn't, I hope at the very least it gave you some good background noise as you like clean your house or whatever. I don't know when y'all listen to this shit, but yeah, so life update over. Okay, I'm back. I had to take a bathroom break because I have a bladder and I'm a human. Like, go piss, girl. I don't know. Like, anyways, since I'm recording on my phone, I have to use my iPad to look at my notes. So let's see if I wrote anything else down. Yeah, I'm an iPad girly. Yeah, I have a stylist too. So let's see. Okay, I said I got laid off, tarot card readers, moving home. Also, apparently in Nashville this weekend, we're supposed to get 20 inches of snow, which I don't know what in the lack of funding to meteorology is going on right now, but 20 inches of snow is actually insane. However, because the South is incredibly underfunded when it comes to like preparation for snow, because we barely get any, we have no procedure like what is the protocol, we don't have it for when it snows. So literally my roommate went to the grocery store yesterday, and I made a list of stuff I wanted. One of the things was like the big back quote Japanese cheesecake trend, which is crazy because it's literally just that no bake Philadelphia cream cheesecake in the tub and you stick Biscoff cookies in it. Girl, you know the Japanese are not doing that big bag of shit. I'm telling you. It originally was like plain Greek yogurt with graham crackers or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I could see them doing this. But then America was like, how do we make this like the most calorically dense, most big bag, decadent ass sweet ever? Instead of doing the like unsweetened plain Greek yogurt, let's use Philadelphia no bake tub cheesecake. And let's put Biscoff cookies in it. And I was like, okay, I need that. Like, girl, what the fuck? Yes, I need that. By the way, I have been about that no bake tub Philadelphia cheesecake since the 2010s, babes. In college, I was buying that shit in my dorm freshman year, 2016. Talk about going back to 2016. I had that shit in my mini fridge. Yes, I did. Me and my roommate, who is like also like my childhood best friend, are obsessed with cheesecake, babe. Like that, it's like, I don't know, if you were like asking me my last meal and like what the dessert would be there, it'd be, dude, tres leches or cheesecake. Like oh my God, cheesecake is so fucking good. And then when Philadelphia came out with that, girl, we were like at barricade at Walmart. Like, oh my God, like, let us in, bang, 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 bang. It was like you would have thought it was Black fucking Friday, how we were waiting in that bitch. And this was pre-TikTok. So like the baddies were not talking about this shit. Like I just knew, like my spidey senses tingled. I could like sniff out a fucking God tier, S tier sweet treat coming around the corner, and I just knew. And so then I went to Walmart, I bought that shit, and we kept it in our mini fridge, and then we also would keep cherry pie filling on deck, so we could just make cheesecake cups, like parfaits of cheesecake and cherry pie filling whenever we wanted. Little did we think, let's stick Biscoff cookies in it, let it sit for like 6 hours to overnight, then eat it. Fucking genius. So of course I sent my roommate, like my roommate was going to the store anyway, so I was like, hey, while you're there, can you get me the Big Back Delight? And I guess she hadn't really seen it on TikTok, so she didn't know what I was asking for, because I was like, oh, can you get the tub of Philadelphia no bake cheesecake, and then can you also get some Biscoff cookies? Like, no reason. Oh, and cherry pie filling. And everywhere on TikTok is like strawberry, strawberry, strawberry. No, it's cherry, babe. Cherry is the way to go. Cherry cheesecake all the way over strawberry. Cherry is like my favorite fruit. I fucking love it. And so she texts me, no Biscoff cookies. I go, fuck. It's TikTok. She was like, what are you looking for? Because there's like 4 other people in this aisle looking for Biscoff cookies. And my roommate's like 6 feet tall. And she was like, all these like small women around me were like, can you check the top shelf and make sure there's no. They're just like, no, babe, there's none. And they were like, dang it, it's probably from TikTok. And she was like, yeah, but she was like, I don't know what they're talking about. And then she went to the cheesecake, the cream cheese section that would have had the cheesecake, out of that too. I was like, dang it. So instead I made the Noosa. I got the Noosa yogurt. If you know, you know. It's like the sweetest, most fucking decadent yogurt you've ever had. It's so good. And I put Oreos on it instead. So, you know. Yeah, win some, you lose some. It's still really good. It's no cheesecake though. It's just yogurt with Oreos. But I still like it. And anyway, so she went to the store because we're getting a snowstorm. Boom, there it is. That's the connection. We're back to the topic at hand. And she was like, guys, it's It's a fucking madhouse in here. It's like you would have thought a zombie apocalypse was coming and we were all going to have to be on lockdown for like 30 years with the way people are acting. And it's like that every single time in the South we get any inkling of like snow or ice. Everybody goes fucking bananas. They buy like 40 things of eggs, all this bread, all this milk, all this whatever. Mind you, it's interesting. It's always eggs and milk because I'm like, if you don't have electricity, how the fuck are you going to cook eggs and milk unless you have a gas stove, which like is not super common, you know, unless you're like rich. And number two, if your refrigerator goes out, what are you doing with the milk? Also, why do you want eggs and milk? Why is that always the first thing? Like, I never understood that. It's like two things that require refrigeration and cooking. Well, I guess milk doesn't. You could just drink milk, but it requires refrigeration. But like eggs, like what are you going to do with a bunch of eggs if you have no electricity? Because my mind immediately goes to the power is out. You know, want to know why? Well, let me tell you why. When I was in, God, it had to be like 3rd grade or something. I thought that I was gay because, what does he say? When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought that I was gay because I liked to draw or something like that. Like, that's a Macklemore reference, babes. That's the Old Testament of radio slop music. But when I was in the 3rd grade, I think, my parents went to, this is a recurring theme in my life, of my parents leaving the country whenever shit hits the fan in my life, I guess. Interesting how that happens. My parents went on a trip to like the Bahamas or something. I don't remember. And so my older brother, he's 9 years older than me. So he was just left to take care of me and my younger brother because he was like, I don't know, 18 or something. Do the math, I can't. So like he was old enough to like babysit us overnight and shit. And so he was like watching us. Well, funny thing is we had an ice storm. And the power went out in the entire city for like weeks. Like there was no power. You couldn't drive on the roads, whatever. So me and my 2 brothers built a tent. We made a tarp. We had all this tarp, I guess, like in our garage or something. Cause I don't know if they were like, they had painted something or whatever, but we had a bunch of like this like plastic tarp. And my older brother, being the genius that he is, was like, we have gas powered fireplaces. So he made this like tarp contraption. It was so day after tomorrow core, where he like turned the gas fireplace on because all you like the pilot light didn't go out. And so all you needed was just like a lighter to start it because it was just gas. And we had that on, and then he made this like tarp mini room that like insulated us and like kept us warm or whatever. Okay, so we're it's like me and my 2 brothers like huddled, and then we had like a camping tent that we set up to make it, I guess, I don't know, more fun. I don't know. So I was sleeping in this fucking tent with my 2 brothers, and like that's when I learned that both of my brothers are the most annoying sleepers of all time. My older brother talks in his sleep. First of all, that bitch is like telling full on stories, having full on conversations in his sleep. My younger brother grinds his teeth like you would not believe. Like I was like, this hoe is going to have no teeth in the morning, the way he was grinding his teeth. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And on top of that, he's a kicker. He kicks so much. So I'm in and he rips ass constantly. Not me airing out my brothers. But they were kicking, and I'm just like sleeping in this fucking tent in an ice storm at my fucking house, and I'm just like, oh my God, kill me. And I guess my grandparents called and were like, we have power at their house. So my older brother drops me and my younger brother off at my grandparents' houses, like, see ya. And then he went and stayed with his mom. And she, I think, had power at her place. So we just like went our separate ways. So I'm at my grandparents' house with my entire mom's side of the family in this fucking house. There's like 10 of us in there, or 13 or something. It was just like a lot of people. And then my parents call and they're like, how is everybody? And me and my little brother are just like so pissed off because we wanted to go on this trip with them. And originally they were like, oh yeah, you guys can come. And then it was like right after our spring break or something. So we would have been in school. However, because of the weather and because, well, this was when I lived in Missouri, but it was like southern Missouri. So like not the South by any means, but also does not have like salt trucks that have enough salt. They just didn't have the infrastructure to like deal with this. Okay. And so my parents called to check in and like whatever. And me and my little brother were like, oh yeah, it's just fucking awesome here. It feels like we're in Annie's orphanage. Like all these random people at my grandparents' house living together, whatever, is fucking terrible. And my parents are just like, we went deep sea fishing today. But that is where my mind goes when this shit happens in the South specifically, because like people will die in their houses from freezing to death because we like when the power goes out here due to ice and whatever, it's like that for a long time. Like when I first moved here, it was in 2020 I moved here. And in 2021, we had a massive ice storm in Nashville and the city was shut down for like 2 weeks. Like you could not, nothing was open. You couldn't drive anywhere. And this is when I lived in downtown Nashville because I was new and I didn't realize like don't live down there, but I did. And it was pretty terrible. But my friend lived also in like the Gulch area, which is like right close to downtown. And so because everything was closed, we literally like put snow clothes on and like played in the snow and like just ran around outside and like ran down the streets and stuff because everything was iced over. And my parking garage was like so slanted that I couldn't drive out because they didn't have any salt to put on it. So people were just stuck in my apartment for 2 weeks. And the power had gone out for like a day and I lived on the 15th fucking story and it was so cold. I literally had a moment where I was like, I might die in here. Like I might die. I live alone. I might die and nobody would know. And like, I guess that year, like a bunch of people did die because it was so cold. So not to get all doomsday, but do I think there's gonna be 20 inches of snow? No. However, if there is ice, I'm fucking terrified because my house is very drafty anyways because it was just shitty thrown up. It's not a shitty house in the sense of like it's old and crappy and whatever. It's a shitty house in the sense of it was built probably in a year and it's a townhome and they just slopped it together. You know what I mean? It's like one of those new builds that like looks great when you first move in, but then over time like all of the like baseboards are like separating from the walls. So I'm like, okay, that's awesome. And the draft in my house is so crazy because none of the windows are sealed properly. They're all like cracking around them. And so, yeah, it's really awesome. But I'm terrified of freezing in my house. And yeah, so that's why my roommate went to the store. We got some stuff. Do we have a lot of food? Not at all, actually. And in fact, we have not a lot of food to the fact that we also don't have a lot of pantry stuff that doesn't require cooking to eat. So this should be like a really fun, quirky kind of weekend where we kind of see what the hell happens. Anyways, if you guys are part of this big snowstorm in this area where it's coming through, I hope that everything is okay. Stay safe, stay warm, drip your faucets or whatever so your pipes don't explode. I don't know, charge your phones and stuff. This is what I remember about losing power. Charge your portable chargers and your power banks and whatever, because if the power goes out and your like internet or whatever goes out because of your Wi-Fi and stuff, the only thing that you will have is your like cellular data. So you need to make sure that your phone is charged, because if not, like you will just be like alone and disconnected from the world. And if there's an emergency or something, I don't know, we just don't have, like, it's just scary because we rely so heavily on technology now. So when stuff like this happens, it's like, oh fuck, like what do you do? So I don't know, not to doom, what is it? Fearmonger. One of the coolest roles in Blood on the Clock Tower. That is for the nichest of niche audiences. If you guys are big Blood on the Clock Tower fiends, you will know that character. But if not, it's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. Anyways, let's get into this week's club member write-ins. So every week, if you are new here, I post on the Instagram story, which if you're not following the Instagram, go follow that thing, girl. It's thegirlsclub.pod on Instagram. Every week I post a question. You guys send in your responses, and then we talk about it at the end of every club meeting. So that way you can have your voices be heard in this club. Because although I am the president and I am in charge, I still want to hear from you, okay? So the question I asked this week was, if you didn't need money to live, what would you do? Like, what would you be doing? In this era where I have no money, I'm like, what should the fuck I do? So this is what everybody said. Also, I'm reading it off my iPad. All my hobbies, reading, writing, drawing, cooking, hiking, everything. And I feel like that's going to be the most common thing about all of this, which is just also sad because it just shows you like, people could do so much good, I feel like, for the world, for each other, for everything, if like money wasn't a thing. Like imagine that. Money's literally not real. Not to be that guy where I'm like, dude, money's not even real. It's a fucking concept that we made up. But it really is. It's like, imagine how much people would just thrive if we just all helped each other out and lived in a system where it's like everybody learned trade things and we could just know how to build stuff and just build our own houses. And like, I don't know, girl, I don't know. Hey, you can't build Rome in a day, and you can't solve capitalism and undo all of the horrible repercussions it's had on our entire society in one club meeting, you know? But I agree, like, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Lean into my hobbies, lean into my creativity, lean into what makes me happy, and help that propel me forward into a new career. Live my mermaid fantasy near an ocean or a tropical island, slow life close to nature. Totally. Oh my God. I'm not really a nature girl. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not one to camp. I'm not one to be outside for prolonged periods of time. Call me a diva, call me whatever you want. I definitely have a level of undiagnosed OCD that I do not want to get diagnosed, because then I will have to like actively, work to do exposure therapy to help combat that. And I can't do that right now. But the outdoors for me, babe, not my fave. I do love the outdoors in what it does for all of us. Like there's definitely time where it's like you need to go touch grass and spend time outside. And I love that. But a lot of the part of the outside I don't love. But like a beach town, yeah, I could get behind that. As long as it's not in like a super humid area. Like I like a beach where the weather is dry and not humid and I'm sweating all the time. Like I like a beach where it's like cool at night, like California vibes. I'd be a nomad somewhere warm, traveling and living off the land. I think at the end of the day, like that's what I'm saying. Is like people just, isn't this sad? It's like, what would you do if you didn't need to work to live? And it's like, enjoy the earth. Y'all, that is so sad. It's not sad because it's what you want to do. It's sad that you can't do it, is what I'm saying. Live event management. Ooh. I work really well under pressure. I'm one of those people who like in another life, I think I could be like an EMT. I could never be a doctor because I'm not smart enough to do all that. And I have really shaky hands. So I'm like, I could not do like surgeries or stuff. But I do believe I would be incredible at like emergency situations. Like I am the person who like if you chop your hand off like in a cooking or something at home, you hope I'm there because you can freak out and you can do whatever. I will be stone fucking cold and in a good way, in a way where I'm just like, it's like weird when there's super chaos and stress and whatever, I'm able to like just completely see clear, where every other time in my life, it's like when things are too calm and too easy and not stressful, okay, motorcycle, it's so hard for me to think clearly. Like my thoughts are so jumbled and like there's a bunch of voices in my head and like, I don't know, it's so overwhelming. But when shit hits the fan, that is when I like am at my peak, which is kind of sad because it's like stressful and whatever, but I don't know. Event management though, I feel like would be a different kind of stress because it's like, I feel like I wouldn't want to get yelled at by people, where it's like saving somebody's life or like disaster recovery kind of thing. It's like you just people enter fight or flight, but like if it's like event management and like you have like a bridezilla or something, or you have like a artist who like has like a crazy requirements for whatever, it's like, girl, I can't deal with divas, let's just say that. Crafts, and that's really all it is, you know. We all just want some crafts. Traveling all the time, I don't think I would be like that because traveling gives me anxiety and stresses me out, and I don't like sleeping in beds that are not mine and that I didn't wash them, or I didn't see them wash the stuff. I don't know what's on the floor. I don't know if the towels are really clean. Like, back to the OCD thing. Like, it's bad, you guys. The older I've gotten, the worse it's gotten to. Maybe we'll have a club meeting talking about that because, like, I'm seriously, like, at a point in my life where it's peak. It's peak. Teaching martial arts and writing. What the heck? Girl, teach me martial arts. I want to know. I've done very, very, very little like combat-esque types of physical training. I took a couple of Krav Maga classes in college, which honestly might save my life one day. Who knows? But I've never done any sort of, well, actually, I did karate very young in like elementary school for something. But I was not in like karate classes or anything. But I think I would really like it because very similar to dance in the like flexibility elements and all of that, I think I would really enjoy it. So, what type of martial arts do you do? Because I love Taibo too, and that's like kind of kickboxing kind of stuff. So I don't know. I truly think I would really like it. I just don't like men. And that's who's the loudest. Not that is who's the only people in that space. Because I know that there are plenty of women who do mixed martial arts or who do karate, taekwondo, all of the different, practices. What do you call that? The different, I don't know, versions of martial arts, jujitsu, whatever. I just don't want to be around men and doing it, So, yeah, cool. I'd become an acrobat. Fucking cool as shit. I've always wanted to do like the trapeze classes. I think I would really like that. Except my hands are kind of sweaty sometimes. So I guess you just put chalk on them. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Stay at home dad, just doing arts and crafts all day, shopping, going out to eat. My dream life, really. Except I wouldn't want to be a parent. I think I would want to be like the fun aunt. Oh wait, that is my life. I'm living my dream. And that's one thing that I'm really excited about being closer to home is like my nieces like FaceTime me all the time. So I'm so excited for them to FaceTime me and me be like, girl, come outside. I'm pulling up. Like, let's go get ice cream or whatever. Like, I'm so excited to be like the cool aunt. And like, also once I get a job and I have like money, since I'll be like staying with my parents for, I don't know how long, girl, I'm gonna have some money because I won't be spending it on rent, and I'll be able to like take them to do stuff. Like we could go on like a trip or something. Oh my God. Me take my nieces to New York. They're too young, but maybe in like 5 years when they're like 13 or whatever. Okay, that's my goal. That is a dream. I'm creating dreams right now of my future life. One of them is taking my nieces to New York City to their first Broadway show and having them experience the chaos that is the fucking Big Apple. Gardening, baking, crafting, pursuing coffee craft, and pottery. Y'all, we just want to make shit. We just want to make shit. We are meant to make things. We are meant to use our hands. We are meant to be artists and creatives and people who grow shit and cook shit. Like, oh my God, this world that we have created is horrible for us. Like all of us, like we are yearning to just be how people originally were, like part of the land and in creating things and making shit and not consuming constantly. Oh God, my fucking dream. Like literally my dream is like trad wife without the husband or the kid. So just a woman who cooks and like makes shit all day and just like has hobbies and does fun little things. Like that's all I want to do. Like be the most girly, yassified trad wife who has no husband or kids. So it's not a trad wife. It's just, I don't know. I just want to live like a fairy. Fucking sue me. Traveling. Yeah. It's like I get that and I want to see the world. There's so much I want to see because the world is so fucking big and like literally there's so many things I have not experienced and cultures and food and languages and everything. Maybe I do need to go get this OCD figured out because it's really stunting a lot of that. When I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to see the world. I want to go everywhere. I want to live in a different country. I want to do all this stuff. And the older I got and the more I'm like, what if there's bed bugs? What if I contract some weird mold or something? What if I get like herpes from like sitting on a toilet seat or what? Like, guys, it's gotten really bad. Reading all the books I have and doing puzzles. It's really that simple. I need to get back into reading. The most reading I do is manga. I read manga every day. But as much as I love to qualify that as reading, it's like the most speed reading thing ever too, which is not great because I don't really remember. It's like I'll read an entire manga series and then it's like I try to recall what it was about, but it's like it's almost like I read manga the way like I binge TV shows. Like I just do it all in like one setting and then I like finish the entire series. Then I'm like, okay, on to the next thing. And then I try to recall like what that one series was about and I can remember like the general thing, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember the characters' names. I don't remember. Like, I don't know. So I need to be more intentional, I think, with reading and stuff. So if you have any good book recommendations, let me know. I like thriller, mystery. Like mystery is my favorite genre of book. Yeah, I like romantic elements, but I don't like a romance plot driven book. I never have. I just like it doesn't keep me in it. I need some element of like drama. Like my favorite genre of television or movies or anything is definitely like drama / I also love psychological like mind fuck things. So if you have any books like that, let me know. Nothing. I'd have a little farm and do whatever I wanted every day. Isn't this crazy? Isn't this crazy how everybody says the same thing? Like nobody is meant to just like rise and grind and like make billions of dollars and own all of these things. Like people really just want basic shit. People really just want to be able to make enough money to just do nothing, you know? Traveling show feature veggie meals from well unknown restaurants, untapped market. Girl, call the Food Network. Call the Travel Channel. Fuck it. I'll make that show for you. I will produce that show for you. This is my vegetarian friend. Love you, girl. That is so like Disney Channel pass the plate coated. What does he say? Zucchini. What does he say? Yes, girl. I love that. Like Anthony Bourdain, but vegetarian and yassified and girly, and you got something there. You got something there. And I feel like I can help get it to where it needs to be in terms of like completing the show concept. I'm literally loving this. Yeah. The issue is the money, right? Singing my ass off. Yes, queen. You know, it really is the little things. People just want to sing, dance, make their own food, enjoy a simple life, you know, and do what they want to do. So, well, I love you guys so much. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. I'm currently working on a new YouTube video that my goal is to push that out towards the end of February. I'm not going to set a hard date on it because I don't know when it's going to come out. But I also am going to start working on other video projects as well, because my goal is to post more frequently on this YouTube channel things that are not just the Girls Club, because this is my weekly thing. It's my weekly yap sesh. It's very low production, and it's just good for my soul. You know, I kind of use this as therapy, if you couldn't tell by this club meeting. But yeah, so if you're new, thanks for being here. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You don't want to miss out on these upcoming awesome videos that I have for you. Or maybe you do. Maybe you saw this and you're like, I'm good. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I love you. And I will see you in next week's club meeting. Bye.
The Girls Club, the Girls Club, the Girls Club. The Girls Club, the Girls Club, the Girls Club. It's my club and I'm a girl, yeah.